Hi everyone, welcome back to Stationeers Venus. Last episode I was getting the atmospherics all set up, and now I'm preparing to move my oxygen to a new location. So everything's all good here. I got oxygen set up, I got waste tanks ready. Let's just get into this. So this thing here is going to go, and oops. These cables here are not necessary anymore. I can't get the ones at the back there from here. I have to do it from the other side. I gotta remember to go around the back there and pick all those up at some point. Okay, let's rip up this thing here. I'm gonna need another gas tank storage. I need another one. Yeah, one for my waste tank and one to refill my oxygen. And this here should not have anything in it. I'm just gonna double check to make sure I'm not wasting any gas. This here has gas in it, and so is this. That's really cold. That's really hot. I'm gonna let this cool, just let this chill for a while, and work on getting this thing. I'm gonna leave this set up here just for a little bit longer. I don't really want to, but let's just get everything in place. So I got to think about how I want these pipes to go. So there's probably going to be a pipe down here, and down there. Yeah, and this is going to be my main gas line. I'm going to use insulated for the ones outside. This is going to be my main gas line connecting into my atmospheric system. As you can see, it goes through the greenhouse. I don't want that there, actually. I'm about to split my oxygen into 3 separate bits. It shouldn't matter. I shouldn't lose any oxygen. I mean, I can just quickly check. 393 moles. Now let's rip this up. And what am I doing? I'm going to have to rip it up again later on because I don't want this bottom section here. Okay, so I ripped it up, put it back on, and 393 moles. So I kind of forced the oxygen out in 3 different directions, and then I connected up and they all came back together again. I need another gas canister storage, and I need a volume pump. Did I get a volume pump last time? I can't remember. I'm not going to attach these. Maybe I'll attach one. I'm going to be back in here pretty soon. Okay, let's get back outside. Let's just fill this airlock with a bit of pressure so I don't get myself knocked out by the sudden rush of incoming atmosphere. There we go. And whoosh. Volume pump. I needed iron. Iron is arc furnacing. It's complete. Good. I'm going to chuck more in. I'm going to need iron for all sorts of miscellaneous things. Let's chuck in 11 for now. Okay, so volume pump. Let's just create one. I'm going to need more insulated pipes. I know that right now. I just do not have enough. Let's just let that run for a second and let's think about how I'm going to do this. So, yeah, I'm going to just do something, just to jank something in for now. I forgot to grab the 2 oxygen filters. I'm about to go back into the room anyway. So the reason I had all these pipes like this is what I can do is I can chuck my insulated pipes on the ground, pick up a white pipe, and then pick up these, and suddenly they're all white. Which is probably not a good idea. I should have saved 1 orange. Doesn't matter. I can always rip that up at any point. And we'll just stick it off this little bit here for now. Yeah, that'll do. So I'm just janking something in. This is not permanent. I'm going to redo this later. I just want to make sure I can... I don't want a volume pump for that. I want a pressure regulator for this. God, I'm trying to blow up my canisters. So we'll do it like this for now. And we'll get something that can set stuff, and then we'll set this to Yeah, like 90, 9500. No, probably a bit dangerous. Let's just go for 8,000 pressure. I'm trying to make 8,000 pressure oxygen tanks. As you can see at the moment, they're like 4,000 or so. Let's chuck that back in. Now we stick a oxygen pipe straight up above like this, and then we attach the canister storage on top. It's a little bit high. It's a bit dodgy. That'll do, really, honestly. So what's going to happen is when I turn that on, I have to connect it to power, but when I turn it on, it's going to get the pressure in this pipe and any canisters in there up to 8,000. Okay, the problem when I put the canister in, the outside is going to heat this canister up and it's going to expand. So really I want my oxygen tank to be less than 20 degrees. I want it to be like 15 degrees or so that when I put my oxygen tanks in and wait for them to fill up and they're heating up, they don't heat up much past 20 degrees. 15 degrees, even 10 degree oxygen. This is important, kind of getting this in your head, getting this stuff in your mind. Get this stuff right in your mind at the start, figuring out what temperature you want your gases. Because in a previous playthrough, I just found that my biggest challenge in Venus was just, temperature of gases, gas temperature. That was the challenge, and it's actually quite a difficult challenge. It's not an easy challenge to get right. You always end up with gases all at the wrong temperatures, and yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Having to cool stuff down, heat stuff up. Okay, so this should be fine. This should be working now. If I turn this on, it's going to volume pump oxygen out of my tank and this pipe network here into my thing. Now, I don't actually have any oxygen into that network yet. I'm going to have to suck it all in there. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing very, very soon, is sucking stuff in. Before I do any of that, and let's turn this off because this eats up a lot of power. Volume pumps are very expensive power-wise. Oh my god, what have I done here? Yeah, I honestly, I'm going to use a lot. It's not, I haven't made any mistakes here. I kind of knew when I set it, I'll probably forget, but I didn't really care. So it may look like a lot of pipes, but for 38 of them, 39, 40, there we go. So yeah, I made 40 pipes exactly. It may seem like a lot, it's not. Honestly, it's very easy. Well, with the type of elaborate setups that I put in place anyway, it's not actually a lot. Okay, let's get a canister storage. And this one will be for my waste tank. And I'm going to have a waste tank emptying station right here. I'm going to move this machine over to the left. Is there anything in there? Okay. I want to grab this, as usual, fling at my face. Yep. And yep. So I'm just going to quickly rip. I'm just going to quickly rip this machine up and get it in a better location. I'm going to need that again in a second. I tried to click on that, it didn't work. And angle grinder again. It gives me these steel sheets. They're running out of room here. And a wrench to finish it off. Okay, we get wrench, and we're going to just stick this. We're just going to line it up with this machine here. So it looks like I'm doing something. No, I want it on here like this. There, that should be all lined up. So I've got my little work area. I kind of do this every game. I have my 4 machines in a central location, so I can go from machine to machine really easy. Gives me a bit of space here as well to work with for setting up my canister dumping area. Okay, so let's get all this stuff back in. Okay, so we go welder, then we go cables, then we go plastic, and then we go screwdriver. And now we just have to connect it up to power. Easy peasy. Oops. Oh, I should use the keys. See, it says rotate left, delete, page down. I should use those keys more rather than lazily just spamming C until I get what I want. Doesn't matter.
critical. Temperature high.
Almost one waste tank gone already.
Critical. Temperature high.
So, yeah, what I'm doing now is that's fine, I think. So I'm going to make a T-junction here. So this is connecting up to those pipes back inside the vacuum room there. This upshoot here is going to be where my volume pump and basically my emptying station is going to be. Which way is that pointing? It's hard to tell from front on. Okay, I'm going to have a cable connecting that there, and I just need a pipe now. It doesn't need to be insulated. Honestly, this doesn't need to be insulated either. But I'll leave that little T-junction insulated. And I'll stick this here. Which way is that pointing? So hard to tell. And there we go. It's not exactly how I'd want it to be. Maybe I want that a little bit higher. Maybe higher? Probably just a little bit higher. Let's just get it up. And just get it up there, out of the way. So I probably want two pipes. One straight up, and then one here. Yeah. I think a bit higher is a little bit more comfortable. There we go. So that's where I dump where I'm going to be dumping my waste tanks. Speaking of waste tanks, how am I going? Yeah, I'm all good. I'm not in any danger just yet. I can dump my waste tanks in here. I just got to get the cabling in place, and I've got a main line right here I can just connect to. So I'm using a volume pump now, and I think I already explained last video why I'm using a volume pump. The pressure in this pipe may get above 20,000, and if it does, I won't be able to use a pressure regulator to push my waste tanks into there. So I'm going to use a volume pump, so that's always going to pump no matter what the pressure is. Volume pumps are dangerous. Well, I think they're dangerous because it's so easy to blow out your pipes, blow out your base windows and things like that. This should work now, and if I stick a waste canister in there, it should just go straight into my main system. Now, this should have oxygen in it. Let's just double check. Yep, 393 moles, the same amount as I had before. And you can see the temperature's getting down. I actually want the temperature a little bit colder. Air tank low is fine. I've got another air tank there. Let's try this out. So we're going to chuck this in here. We're going to turn the volume pump on. Now, the volume pump should be a little slower than a pressure regulator.
Air tank critical.
Yeah, see, it's taking a lot longer to get those last little bits out. It's kind of why I prefer pressure regulators when you're dealing with low pressure. It just evacuates much quicker. See, this is taking forever. Unlike the 8 seconds. The 8 seconds I usually count when I stick one of these in, and I count to 8 and then pull it out and it's empty. That was a lot longer than 8. Next time I stick a waste canister in, I'll actually count and see how long it was. But that was like 20 seconds to empty it. So it takes longer to empty it. I can have like an almost instant emptying if I attach it straight to my... I wanted to pull these cables up, didn't I? I'll do it now while it's fresh in my mind. Also, I've only got 2 cables left, so it's nice to have them. I could dump them straight into my atmospheric system, and it'll be almost instant. I'll stick the waste tank in, 1 second later it's emptied, because there's like 6 filtration systems pulling on it. The problem with doing it that way is I'm not controlling the temperature. So the oxygen I'm dumping into my oxygen tank will be waste tank temperature. It was like 80 degrees or something, which is obviously no good. Now I want to get the oxygen filters into here, and I want to connect up everything in there to this system, so I can just turn on my filtration, pull this valve, and my oxygen will get sucked straight into this oxygen pipe, where it's all ready and set for me to use as an oxygen filling station. So I need to get the oxygen filters in there. I've got every other filter there. I can even rip up my filtration machine in there now. I can get the nitrous filtration going. So atmospherics, I said it was going to take about 10 minutes. It looks like it's going to take, I'm already 15 minutes into the episode, so it took a bit longer than I thought it would. mainly because I'm kind of explaining what I'm doing as I'm going along. Okay, pressure in here 0, and okay, so I want to yank these oxygen filters. I'm not going to run this straight into my oxygen thing. I'm actually going to suck all that out, and I now have a new oxygen filling place from now on, and a new waste station. I don't have to come in here every time I want to empty a waste tank or fill up my oxygen tank. So I'm actually going to suck this thing dry. Before I do, I'm just going to quickly fill up my oxygen tanks with whatever's in here. So that's 4,000. Hopefully I'll get 4,000 from this one. 4,100, good. That'll tide me over a while. I'm going to get rid of that flashing red signal in the top there. Just because it's bugging me, not because I need to. It's only water, gosh. So now I'm just going to suck this dry, and I'm not going to need this setup again, not for a very long time. I'll be a rover before I use this thing again, but it's served me very well. Okay, so let's rip up this whole filtration system.
Power low.
Just endless warnings. Fine, I've got this here. I'm going to use it. Fill up my power for me, please. Okay, I'm just thinking, should I filter this straight in here? No, I'm not going to. I don't need to. My oxygen's full. Okay, so that's going to be my nitrous filtration system. I just want to hook up these pipes really quickly. I got this belt open to remind me to do the iron, but I can close the belt and just stick the iron there, and I'll remember to do it. So I'm just going to connect this up. This will dump carbon dioxide into my oxygen tank. So I'm about to create an ugly, awful, hot mix, which is ordinarily bad. The only reason I'm doing it is because I have everything set up already to switch over everything. So right now there should be an ugly, weird temperature mix. 19 degrees, that's fantastic actually. I kind of want to just, okay, let's rip this off quickly. I want to slow that down a bit. I don't want it to cool down too much. I said I want it to be cooler than 20 degrees, but yeah, and I've now got in my tank CO2 and O2, you know, I've mixed it all up in an ugly way. There's 1.8 K moles in this pipe system of oxygen. So 1,800 moles in there, another 500 in there. There's 2,300 moles of oxygen currently in this tank and system. But as you can see, it's mixed with carbon dioxide, which would be horrible if I didn't have a filtration system set up ready to go. Anyway, how are you going, Mr. Battery? I'm just talking while I'm waiting for the battery to full. That's honestly good enough. 76. I'm going to turn that off. I don't need to charge that just yet. I can actually start ripping up some of these pipes because the pressure is not scary pressure. It's nothing pressure. So I have to make sure I do this in order so that the oxygen is forced down. I can't say that enough. I want other people to avoid the horrible mistakes that I've made in the past. There we go. I mean, if I could rip this up and it's not a problem, it'll just separate the two and then put them back together again. It's not an issue. So at the moment you can see it's 1.73, and the reason, and the oxygen tank is increased. This is decreased. That's because I ripped those pipes up, but it should add up to the same, which is 2,300. It's actually 2277 exactly. I'm not going to bother. I'll rip that up later. All this is going to be ripped up later once I've sucked it out. So I'm about to suck all this oxygen out of this system and the carbon dioxide, and it'll get sent through my atmospheric system. And yeah, all should be well. I'm going to leave those radiators on the ground there because they're basically only going to be used inside there. They can be they can be used outside, and it's something I might end up doing if I accidentally freeze one of my tanks and I find that it's just way too low temperature. I can like chuck radiators on these pipes here and heat it up using the outside air. Wait, can you put a radiator on an insulated pipe? I've never done it before. Worst case scenario, I rip out the insulated pipe, stick a normal pipe down, and chuck a radiator down. That's if the radiators don't work on insulated pipes. Okay, what am I doing? Oxygen. Okay, let's just turn all these on. Now we're all going to be sucking stuff out. Let's set up my nitrous oxide filtration system. So it's all complete. Wrong way. Whoa. Oh, it's an air conditioner. There we go. Filtration. This is what I wanted. Boop. Everything's in place. Beautiful. And I can now turn this on. I need the 2 nitrous filters. Not that I actually even have any nitrous to put in yet. There's probably some in my furnace pipes. I'll get them pretty soon. Whoa! Okay, I can't wait to get my power wall in place. I'll probably work on that for the rest of the episode. Everything's all in there. All the filters are in this parallel setup. The gases kind of get pulled out of the main line, stuck in there. See, the thing that gets filtered out, in this case CO2, will come out here and into the CO2 tank. Everything else just goes back into the main line again. And this works really, really fast. Okay, so what temperature are we looking at?
Waste tank critical.
Oh, God.
Temperature
Oh,
high.
we'll get to test this quite a bit.
Critical.
Okay, so I've only got CO2 and
High.
quiet, lady. Okay, I've only got CO2 and O2 in the tank right now, but it's at 19 degrees. When I pull this valve, this system will suck it in, and as you can see, there's 1.73 kmols here, but there's also another, what was it, 500 kmols. So it was almost 2,300 moles, and that should end up in here and here, between these two, this tank and these pipes here. So let's go, let's turn it on, and you should see this, this will get sucked out really quickly. Those filtration machines have a lot of suction power going, and it's almost completely sucked out. And there we go, it's empty. That pipe network inside the vacuum room is empty. I can close this now. This is empty completely. Now, there was a little bit of CO2, and that's ended up in here. 34 moles in there and 1 mole in there. So 35 moles of CO2, 19 degrees Celsius, what I chose it to be. And here we have 19 degrees Celsius, 2.2 kmols, and another 73, which is 2,273. I thought I said it was 2,277. I may have miscounted. I may have misadded it up. Or there's rounding here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so that first test was perfect. I'm going to leave these running all the time, pretty much. Next test is, can I fill my oxygen tanks up here? Now, I'm going to wait until the oxygen tank is empty, but what I will do is I'm going to put this pressure regulator on right now. And what's that going to do? What that's going to do is it's going to fill this pipe up to 8,000 kilopascals of pressure. And then when I stick the tank in, it'll immediately spread it out, so there'll be a 4,000 in each, and then this thing will keep pumping until the tank is at 8,000 as well. But I probably won't leave tanks in there for too long, because while they're sitting in there, they're exposed to the outside heat and they're heating up like crazy. That's why I was saying I want my oxygen to be a little colder, because I need to take into account the differential, the time period that it's sitting in the canister heating up. Now, this is my waste tank emptier. I just want to check that I close this valve. I think, like I said, I can automate this someday in the future. I think I need Invar or something to do it though. So I need to do a big furnace job before I can do that. And I'm not going to do Invar and stuff until my oxygen needs are handled. Okay, this is my volume pump. This is going to pump air from these pipes down back in my vacuum room. Let's chuck a tank in there. Let's count this time. So yep, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 13, 14, 15. 25, 26, 27. 31 seconds I counted. That is a heck of a lot slower than the 8 seconds that it takes using a... Oh, well, that's giving me the atmosphere, not the pipe. That's a heck of a lot slower than the 8 seconds. It's like 4 times slower. So if you're using low pressure, like only 4,000 kilopascals, not many moles, using a volume pump is super slow and painful. So I generally use a ton of pressure regulators, and I only use volume pumps in situations like that, either where I'm pumping a huge amount of stuff into a pipe, and I'll be using a volume pump on my CO2 later to pump CO2 around the place, or in situations where you're trying to pump into a pipe which has more than 20,000 kilopascals pressure. More than 20 megapascals of pressure. That may be the case because I might end up filling this pipe up. Now, this is currently my waste tank that I just dumped. It was 63 moles of oxygen and almost a mole of CO2. That's now sitting in my vacuum room. If I attach radiators to those pipes in there, it'll actually start cooling. And then it's just a case of when I think the temperature's right, I will pull this valve and it'll suck it into my system and the different gases will go into the different places. So that's pretty much it. This is my setup. This is how I'm going to handle the Venus. Keeping my temperatures at the right amount. Okay, so this power array, I'm going to rip this up and I'm going to create a line of steel whatevers down there. These pipes will be used, but not yet. They will definitely be used because I'm going to be running pipes through,
Waste tank. Caution.
I'm going to be running a pipeline off here, and as soon as I have X in that tank, I'm basically going to do it immediately. It's going to be insulated pipes running into my cool room, and then normal pipes in the cool room with radiators attached like crazy along the top of this wall here. This is going to be all greenhouse where I'm standing, and the X will slot into the wall coolers from there. And this wall is how I'm going to cool my greenhouse. The greenhouse will eventually extend along this line and hopefully be a much bigger area, but I'm probably going to just go with a small area to begin with, just a small greenhouse, just to get some oxygen going. What was I doing? Let's just furnace this last stack of iron, and then I think I'm fine for iron for a long time. I won't need to worry about iron. All my steel is in here, so let's get that steel out. And let's get some steel frames and some steel sheets. I'll deal with that later. I do want to get these resources somewhere else very quickly.
Air tank low.
Stick that in there. I'm going to stick that in there. Air tank low. I got another air tank all lined up. It's all good. Okay, so steel frames. I mean, I could actually try wall cooling like really soon. I could enclose this entire space and just cool the
Air tank critical.
oh god, and just cool.
Waste tank critical. Temperature
God.
high.
The warnings never end.
Critical. Temperature high.
So I could enclose all this and then start cooling down the whole area and create like a cooler base to work in. I might end up doing that actually. Not trying to get the right gas mix or anything. I'll just leave it as atmospheric gases, but much cooler gases. And that way, when I'm like in this little work area at the very least, I won't be using up huge amounts of oxygen and ripping through my waste tanks at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm going to be connecting this line up to here soon. I actually want to just empty a bunch of waste tanks first. So when all these waste tanks fill up, I'm going to empty those waste tanks into here, cool them down, flush it out, and then I'm going to stick some stinking hot furnace gases in there.
Power low.
Everything's low. So I didn't actually count. Let's get an aerial view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that'll do. Maybe not go 11, maybe 10. Oh no, I'm gonna probably want about 20 of these, to be honest. What does that sound? I'm gonna want about 20 of these because I'm gonna have multiple lines of these windmills. How many have I got? I think it was 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16. So I'll probably be able to fit about close to 16 along that line. Yeah. Just keep going. I'll get 5 more of these. How's my steel looking? Okay, I'm doing okay for steel. These only cost 2 steel each. Building with steel is great. I mean, steel is, everything's so cheap. You end up using half the iron you would if you had have made it all out of iron. So what could I be doing while I'm waiting for these to be made? I could be actually charging all my batteries. Okay, we'll get 1 more of these. Okay, and then we'll get steel sheets. Need 2 sheets per frame. That's, yeah, 40 sheets I need. It'll only use up 20 steel or so. Big important thing, get my welder up to full. This drill can go up to full as well. Let's just get everything full. I'll probably be emptying these tools. Yeah, we can close that. Tablet, I use that a lot. Goodbye. My renaming tool's in the locker. I'm not going to bother getting it. Blue, 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 blue. Thank you. And I may have used a tiny bit of power while I was doing all that. Doesn't really matter. Okay, these guys are building like crazy. 10. How many do I need? 40. Okay, that's going to take a while. If I build too many, who cares? I will use them. So it'll stop me falling into that hole all the time as well, which is good to know. Oh, I've done 10 already. Okay, we'll do 11. I shouldn't be doing this side. I should be doing this side first. I should get 2 more frames.
Hydration critical.
No, it's fine. Let's just get welding. Oh, no, I don't need that many steel sheets. Stop! I forgot. I only need. Oh no, I'm gonna airtight this wall, but not that wall. Yeah, I do need this many steel sheets. I'm just floating around. Let's just do what I've got and see how it works. 32 minutes gone. Yeah, I am gonna. This is gonna be my base, basically. This is gonna be a wall of my base. So, I don't need to do them all yet. Of course, I could save that for later. I'll do whatever I can, steel sheet wise. I'll just get these things done first so I can build on top of them. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, drill. You served me well, but I'm going to have to retire you. Or we'll just remove the battery, either way. Let's go. I don't need to be jetpacking for this.
Waste tank caution.
Waste tank caution. Just gonna. Oh no. What? Oh, I'm out of steel sheets. So I thought I ran out of power. I was like, what? It ran out that quickly. I was getting annoyed at something that wasn't even a thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this flat panel. I guess it'll just go up on the end. I'm gonna start ripping up these guys. Why did I empty my drill? I wasn't thinking ahead. Alright, so this is going to create enough space. It actually creates kind of like a base area as well for me. I guess I'm having a very large base. It's going to be like 3 lines here. I'll fill it. And I've got all these machines behind here as well. I don't know. I didn't put much thought into planning my base out. Okay, so you can only stack in stacks of 10. Good to know. So what's happening here is I'm putting these up here, and I'm going to put them in the middle like this. I might start at this end and go right up against the edge. And there we go, that's good. And we'll just walk backwards, placing these down. Some of these frames are filled, some aren't.
Waste tank critical.
Oh,
Critical.
down to my last empty tank. Oh, I've got this tank here.
High.
I should really check to see if I can fill my oxygen tank. I'm going to fall off the edge in a second. Where are we? Oh, yep. Well, that's kind of perfect. The problem is, where do I put the cable? I can run it along the bottom and up and around like that. Okay, and these things here will just turn the other way, like this. And then I can just crisscross cables like this. Like this. I've got a ton of heavy cables to pick up on the ground there. I probably have heavy cables to spare. Yeah, it's going through the ground. I want to drill that up. I'm actually need to go deal with my oxygen tank. I just want to get some of these things connected to power before I do that. No, let's oxygen tank. Okay, so I've been putting quite a bit of pressure in there. It's at 8,000. Great. I'm going to put this in here. Now, as you can see, the temperature's going up. See, I'm sitting here waiting for the tank to fill, and because it's sitting there exposed to the air, the temperature's actually rising right now.
Inner tank. Low.
Yeah, I'm working on that. So I'm not going to get it to 8. It's not going to get to 8 in time. I'm going to run out of oxygen before then. But yeah, I might wait until the temperature's exactly 20 degrees, and then I'll put it on. I'll switch it with the existing tank. And there we go, 20 degrees. So now I've got a tank which is 6,800 rather than the 4,000 or so that I'm coming in. And now this tank is slowly increasing. But as you can see, the temperature of this tank is quite high. I probably should rip that up, take that out pretty soon. So I'm going to be able to have higher capacity air tanks now when I'm running around, which is fantastic. I'm going to stop at 6 megapascals. Yeah, that's good. So I now have a lot more time before I have to refill my oxygen. So that's one of the advantages of doing this. This is great. And now let's empty my waste tanks. I know I'm dying of thirst. I've got water on me. I could be drinking that. I like to save that as an emergency. But yeah, these waste tanks take ages. So it's more a case of I chuck the waste tank in, I go away, I do a bunch of stuff, and then I come back and it's empty. So in a way, it's a bit annoying that I can't just empty my waste tank. However, this is like, so I didn't actually intend this, but because I've got extra capacity in these pipes, when I chuck a waste tank in, it will immediately, even with this thing off, it'll immediately spread the gas around these two pipes in itself. So it'll partially empty the waste tank. So if I'm in a mad rush, I can just chuck it in there, then pull it out straight away, and like 1/3 of the gas will be gone. So it's fine. I can still empty my waste tank in an emergency. It just doesn't fully empty, just partially empties. This is a bit of a problem. The other thing is, how do I connect this thing up to this power? I don't want to run a cable. Yeah, I didn't really think this through, this setup. How many windmills do I have there? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So instead of doing a line of 15, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this. I was going to just run the cable along here and connect it up down the middle there, but then how do I connect this one up? I might need to just create a gap. I mean, I can cheese this through the yeah. Well, let's get my other waste tank emptying first, and then we'll figure it out. Okay, so I've got an empty waste tank to work with if my other waste tank gets full. This is going to be solid block though. See, what I can do is I can do this in a really cheesy way. I don't like doing stuff like this, but it's fine, honestly. I can run this underneath here and then up the other side. Jetpack wants to drift around a lot.
Health low. Waste tank. Caution.
Health low means think 75% health, which is honestly fine. So I can attach these up through the middle of the frame like this. I don't like doing this because later on, what if I want to attach more things? It's you know, do I rip up frames? Well, what just happened then? It's because I was jetpacking. I shouldn't have been jetpacking. Get in there. Let's just do this to all of them, so I'm not. Oh, what am I doing? I can just do it like this. Yeah, because they're gonna just crisscross. So I didn't really think that through. I thought I had more heavy cables. I do. Yeah, you can just crisscross them. This is one of the advantages of doing this way. You get rid of the irritation. Well, that one you can't crisscross, but these you can. And why did I connect those two together, but not to the main line? Okay, anyway, so this is currently doubly connected. Let's I'll leave that solar panel there for the time being. My other waste tank should be empty by now. Well, we're past the 40-minute mark, so I'd like to call the video in just a second. But yeah, achieved a lot. My atmospherics line is all set up, ready to go. I can now connect my furnace gases to it. I'm not going to until I've emptied this last lot of oxygen into the into my main oxygen tank. But,
Waste tank critical.
yeah, but once I've done that, I will
Temperature.
I'll take all those furnace pipes and yeah. So see, I mean, if I want to save cables, I'll just run this straight through the frame rather than going around like this. Are they all connected? I'm not using anything anymore, so I'm not using cables up. I'm just gonna drill this away. This is just bugging me. I like to see this stuff. Oh, this is nickel. I'm not going to need that until I'm making alloys in Var Constantan. Yeah. What are you doing here, my friend? I should. Yeah, I've got to get those other windmills hooked up. I want to be collecting all this free power, unlimited free power here. There we go. Let's. I got 30 cables here. It might be enough. No, it's not going to be enough. It uses up like 5 cables per block, so that's only enough for like 6 blocks, and this is like 11 long. So I'm going to connect up these two here. As you can see, I've got the offshoots ready for more windmills. There we go. So I've actually got 2 different sets of power networks because they're not all connected at the moment. Yeah, maybe that's what I should be doing. No, let's just do this. Honestly, this battery is more important right now because it's running 24/7. So we'll get these going. I've almost managed to connect it. Just a few more heavy cables. Let's swap out my battery. Let's empty my waste tank. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, looking good. Okay, so next episode I'm going to be connecting this up. First I'm going to be flushing this of all the oxygen that I've collected so far. So you can see there's quite a lot of massing in there, 252 moles, plus probably that waste tank as well. I'm going to cool this stuff down because it's currently 96 degrees in there. Cool it down with some radiators. Once it's cool enough, I'm going to pull my my little valve, suck it into my oxygen tank, and then after that I'm going to close the valve and fill it with super hot furnace gases, and I'm going to radiator the living heck out of it. Right now, just a little bit of housekeeping. I just want those last heavy cables done, because I know me, I will forget. I'll just leave them. While they're building, I'm just going to quickly inspect the cables and make sure they actually are connected. I've made that mistake before of leaving entire main lines disconnected before. And I've got room here for like another 14 windmills, giving me 30 windmills in total. And that'll honestly be enough power for a very, very long time. I can actually gain a heavy cable by plucking this out. This solar panel needs to be moved somewhere. In fact, it probably should be attached to the main line. So I'm just going to quickly get rid of this. And this does not need to be like this. This can just be a dead straight line connecting to there. I hope that means it's still powering. And I left heavy cables running. Let's just grab all those before there's too many of them. They build pretty slowly, so let's just stop there. I probably have enough, to be honest. So that's all good. That all looks like it's connected to me. I want to inspect the underside of that just to be doubly sure. Really, I should not be ripping this up in the middle of the day because I'm missing out on power whilst waiting for this. But I'm just going to slap this one on the end here. Yeah, hanging over the edge. It's okay. And yeah, that's going to pull power, pull it into there. Looking good. Looking good. I'm at 45 minutes. I am like 10 minutes longer than I want it to be. I'm just double inspecting this, making sure it is connected. Another reason why I don't like building through frames like this. You can't see what's going on. So let's just connect up all the windmills so both batteries are getting the benefit of windmill power. Well, what? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Connect that one, connect that one. Is that it? Are we fully connected? 7 heavy cables to spare. I'll use them. It looks like it. We're all fully connected.
Tank, caution.
So after missing that one connection before, I'm a bit paranoid. But yeah, that's it. There's our power array. Our batteries are virtually full. They're close enough to full that they're effectively full. I just got a waste tank caution, so I'm just going to empty that waste tank really quick. And yep, atmospherics is basically set up. Cool, huh? I know, my character's been dying of thirst this whole time. It's actually down to 34%. I hope that doesn't drive people crazy. I do that a lot. There we go. Got everything set up, ready to go. I can turn that off. It's a very power-hungry little monster. Let's get in the chill room and then end transmission. I want to be in here at the end anyway because I'm going to be attaching radiators to these things, and I'm going to be ripping up all those pipes in there, creating a network of pipes. Like this is all getting ripped up. This thing here is getting drilled up. I'm not going to be using that for a long time. The rest of this, the water can stay in here, to be honest. Let's drink some water, get some hydration going, stop that panting sound. My character really does not like it when I deny him of liquids. Eat some food, and when I start up next episode, yeah, it'll just basically be what I said. Cool down this oxygen, flush it in my system, close the valve, run furnace stuff in. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you found that enjoyable and or instructive, maybe. And I'll see you all in the next episode. So bye for now.